Welcome to Yakar Parasha Podcast, and this week it's Parshas Vayeshev, which turns out to be Shabat Chanuka. So I'd like to discuss the relevance of Hanukkah. What exactly is it? Is it a historical Chag that we commemorate the independence of the Maccabees over about 100 years that it lasted, which was over 2,000 years ago? The Sfat Emet asks a slightly different question, but gets to mine, in which he says, why is it that on Hanukkah we say Hallel, but on Purim we don't? On Purim we don't say Hallel, because we're still enslaved. That's what the Gemara says. We're still subjugated to Achashverosh. But you could ask the same question about Hanukkah. On Hanukkah, we're also still under Hellenistic Greek influence, and we're pretty subjugated to Rome within a short amount of time. Another thing worth mentioning about Hanukkah is that although to us it's very clear there was this miracle at this time, actually the episode of Hanukkah is ongoing. They get to the Bet Mikdash, they consecrate the Bet Mikdash, but actually after that they keep on fighting. And Yehuda Maccabee dies a few years later, and so do his brothers, all in battles. So actually, where was this battle which was clearly the miracle which we're commemorating? So the Sfat Emet, I think, really turns Hanukkah on its head, because he says it's not really about the historical miracle, it's actually about something else. The ultimate ness, the ultimate miracle is that they felt that a miracle had been done. They felt close to God. They had created meaning. They saw meaning in their lives. This is the challenge. It's not that there was an objective miracle that everybody could point to, but it's that they did not feel subjugated. They felt free. They saw the miracle. Miracles might be happening all the time. The question is, do we see them? Can we mold our lives towards them? That's challenging. That's work. So this then would be the meaning of 8. 7 being nature, and 8 being 1 over. B'nei Bina, Yemei Shmona, days of 8. That these days have the midah, the characteristic of 8, which is 1 over, which is giving interpretation, giving meaning to reality. It's not necessarily only what we experience, it's how we give that. It's how we interpret that experience. Do we bring it close to God? Do we see the hand of God in our lives? That's the miracle, if you like, the skula of Hanukkah. That is this time period, which is finding meaning, finding closeness to God at times of darkness. When they were still at war, they had the peak of consecrating the Bet Mikdash, but they still had work to do. And they could have easily have felt subjugated, just like at the time of Achashverosh. But they didn't. And I think this is our modern day challenge. And this would also, I think, be the challenge, the beauty and the difficulty of where we find ourselves now in this time and age at a time of war. So Shabbat Shalom and Chanukah Sameach, and I hope the war ends very soon.